guys, welcome back to this series of tutorials where we are building a complete food delivery app with React Native and Firebase. In this video we will continue from where we left last time. In the last video we started building the Drawer Navigator, and we did not complete it, but in this video we're going to complete what is left. So this is the Drawer Navigator. The Drawer Navigator, it allows the user to navigate from the drawer, meaning you can click the menu icon and you have a drawer opening, and on this drawer you're gonna have a list of navigations. This could be some stack navigation that are being listed on this drawer. For example, if I click on Business Console, you will see that this will take me to this screen, and this screen is called stack navigation. As you can see here, you can set up the business and all those type of things, but in this video we won't cover all these screens. We're simply going to cover the Drawer Navigator itself. And so far this is what we have built, and the Drawer Navigator, this is what we did in the last video. So we're able to create the drawer and cause it to open by clicking the menu icon. But as you can see, this is almost empty. We only added one navigator to this drawer, which is the client stack navigator. So to begin, we will start coding this user profile, which is on the top of the drawer. And there's one thing that I want to mention before proceeding. All items that are on the drawer are not necessarily navigators. That means there are some items on the drawer which are just normal React Native components, and other items are navigations. For example, this button here, dark theme, it's not a navigation. For example, if I click there, it simply changes the theme of my app to dark mode. So I'm not navigating to anything by clicking there. On this text, it's got nothing. So it's simply buttons, and you also have the logout button. If I press on the logout, the app will log me out. And for example, on top here we have the picture, the profile, the username and user email and all these other items. All these items are not navigations. So in order to code this, we're going to use a different approach than when we coding the navigators which are here. For example, this client and business console, all these are navigators which are part of the Drawer Navigator, but all these other items, for example the pink items and all these other button preferences and sign out and all whatever we can add to this drawer, are not necessarily navigators. So all these are just called drawer items. Those are called drawer items, and we're going to begin implementing that. So I wanted you first to understand the difference of things that can be listed on the drawer. On the drawer you can have some navigations, generally stack navigators, which are embedded inside the drawer, and also on the drawer you can have items which are just mere React Native components. Now I want you to go to your code editor and go to the source folder. Inside the source folder, go to the navigation folder. Inside the navigation folder, go to the drawer navigator.js file. Here, what I'm highlighting right now, this is a navigator which we have added to this drawer, and this navigator is hosting a stack navigator, it's hosting a tab navigator, and this is the root client tab navigator. This is the component which is rendered when you click on this drawer. So it renders the root client tabs, which are all this. That's why you can see that by default the client is selected, and the client renders these tab navigators, and then in return the tab navigators render the home tab as the default screen. Now if I want, for example, to add the business console navigator, I can simply copy this navigator or component and paste it down there, and I can change the name from client. I'm going, for example, to put business console, and the icon, let me see what the name of that icon right now. I think this should be business. Just put there business. And before that, let me just run my emulator so that we can be seeing all the changes that I'm making. I'm going to run my emulator. You can also start your emulator. I'm going to tap npx React Native run Android. This will launch my emulator. But in the meanwhile, now I'm going to create I'm not gonna use this component here because we have it registered already there. So I'm going to create the business console screen, because what we rendering here is business console. So I want you to go to your screen folder and create a file and call it business console screen .js file. And inside the screen, I'm going to just copy some general components and paste them there. I'm going to copy here from the home screen, go to the business console screen and paste it there. So you can paste this. You can see I'm importing React from React Native, React from React, and some components like view, text, and style sheet and so forth from React Native, and I'm also importing icon from React Native element. Now I'm going to create the business console screen. I'm going to say const export. Okay, let me rather create a functional export. That's up to my, okay, export default function business console screen. So I have the functional component, and this must return some JSX, and this will be a view. To have a view, and let me create some style sheet. Const styles, and a style sheet dot create. Then this should retain an object of styles. I'm going to say container. Gonna have a flex of 1, and we're going to, I'm just gonna put some text to this screen, which will be saying welcome to business console. Awesome. And the style will be equal to styles that I've just created dot container. And let me align this text. I'm gonna say this will be center, and justify content, also put center. I'm gonna save this. It's saying there's an error. Yes, I duplicated default. Okay, this is fine. Now inside my drawer, I'm going to change this to business console screen. And this, I want to render the console screen that we've just created, because this is the component which must be rendered into this navigation. So this will be the business console screen. In my case, this is imported automatically, so make sure you import this, otherwise you might get an error, or you will for sure get an error if it's not imported. Now let me save. And if I go to, let me sign in. Can ignore this for now. If I go to the sign in, now you see we have two menus. I mean two items on this navigator, or two navigators on this Drawer Navigator. Okay, it's having a problem with the icon. Let me see. Business. So why is it complaining? Okay, this should be just material, it should not be from material community. I think that's why it's complaining. Just remove that, change that to material. Awesome. Now we have also that item there. So now if I click there, you can see now we are taken to this screen. Welcome to business console. And if you go back, you see that we are back to the client, and we can select the other one and so forth. So this is how you can add items to your drawer. And one more thing that we're gonna now do is, let's first start with this one. Let's first create the top items. Let's create the client profile picture, the username, email, and all these other items. So in order to do that, there are two things that we need to do. We need first to create this component, and we need to pass it to this Drawer Navigator component. So go to your component folder, create a new file, call it drawer content.js, and inside this drawer content, we're now going to create all these items here. I'm going to import some libraries and paste them so that we don't waste time tapping the libraries. You can pause your video to tap this. It's just React from React, as well as some component from React. We're also importing some component from React Native, as you can see, and we're importing also some component from React Navigation /drawer, as you can see there. And also I need to import some component from React Native element, which we definitely gonna use. So I'm also going to paste that. Awesome. So we can pause the video and tap this. That being said, now let's create our functional component. I'm going to say export default function, and the name of the component will be drawer content. You would notice that I like to keep my file's name the same as the component that they are hosting. So you can open a view there, and also going to create some styles, const styles. Instead of typing all this again and again, I can just copy what we just created from this, copy this and paste here. This is to save time. We don't have to be repeating ourselves, and we can just remove this, and here we can pass the style. You can say stars dot container. But by the way, I don't want this to have a flex of 1 because I don't want it to occupy the whole of this space. For now, I can simply remove this style for now. It's not really that needed. So we're just gonna keep that view, and the first item that you see on this view, it's the profile picture. So I'm going to open another view inside this parent view, and I'm going to open the avatar component and close the tag. I close the tag. I'm going to pass some props to it, and the first prop I'm going to call, I want it to be the rounded one. If you leave it, it could give you a square one or whatever. And also we need to pass some star, and here I'm going to say stars dot to avatar star. Now we have to create this. You can come down here and create that star. This star here, I'm going to paste it so I don't have to waste a lot of time typing all that. You can simply pause the video and type. Let me just make it neat. Awesome. Now we need to import the global colors, the global styles. You can come here, we say import. I'm going to say colors, and this will be from global styles, and this color here is this white border around the picture. So we're gonna keep it like that, and then we need to pass the picture itself. I'm going to pass source. I'm gonna pass a URI prop, and we need to find the picture. For now, let me go to my data. I think I have, go to global folder, we have the data inside this global folder. I'm going just to copy one URL for pictures, because this is just for demonstration purpose. We're gonna change this later when we get the user profile from Firebase, but right now let's first do this just to complete this demonstration. You can copy any URL of the picture that you want to put, but in this case I'm just gonna put this for now. And all this, oh sorry, I'm putting it in the wrong place. I put these stars in the wrong place. I'm putting this source in the wrong place. I'm putting it inside the stars. Sorry guys, just make sure this is inside the avatar component. Alright, so make sure I've been putting it on the wrong place. So let me just keep some space between this. Alright, so it's supposed to be there on top. So as I said, you can get this URL from anywhere. Also, I will leave the link to this source code in the description area. I'll be updating this after every videos. So that's it. I've created this picture. Now let us go to our Drawer Navigator.js file, and inside this we're going to pass some props, and the prop is called drawer content. So this is for some content that you would want to add to your drawer. So I'm gonna say drawer content, and for this drawer content we're going to retain something. We're going to retain some stuff. So we're gonna say props we retain the component that we've just created. Or we don't even have to do this, we can, since it's just one component, it's going to be drawer content. Let me first save this so that I have it as part of my project. Alright, once it's saved, then let's complete that. Drawer content. You can see it's not been suggested, but that's fine. And also you need to spread some props to this content. You can just say dot the spread operator, then spread the props that you're passing there, and then we can close the tag. Alright, so it's as simple as that. And once that is saved, now you will have your drawer content listed on this drawer. You will be able to get your drawer content listed over this Drawer Navigator. And before that, I want also to do something else. Go back to your drawer content.js file, and in this we're going also to do something. We're going to pass some props to this drawer content. So inside here we're going to say that we want this drawer content to also have all the children from this. For example, you can see this business console and driver console. All these are navigators, are not just items. These are not items, these are navigators. But dark theme preference, this button, the profile picture, and all this, those are items. So what we want to do is we want to have this drawer content component to be the parent to these all navigators as well. In order to do that, we need to spread some profile. Also have to make sure it's scrollable, so that if we have more items that are outflowing or going beyond this space, this will be able to scroll up and down. And to do that, we can call a component called drawer content scroll view, and then we spread all the props. We spread all the props there, and then this should be parenting all the components inside our drawer content space. Awesome. Now we have this. You can just follow for now. Even if you don't understand, you can follow what I'm doing. Before the end of this video, you will understand exactly why we have been doing that. And now, once that is complete, there's an item which is called drawer item list. You will see that we have imported that on top here. Let me see. There's a component imported from React Navigation. It's called drawer item list. So this will help to spread things that are not what, how can I say, that are not simply React Native component, but items that are navigators. As I said, for example, these pictures and all these are simple React Native component. Preference is, that's a React Native component, which is a text. If I click there, there's nothing happening. But these other items are navigators. For example, if I click on business console, we will navigate. And in order to render these ones as well, these items which are navigators, we need to spread the drawer item list inside this component. And you can just, for example, come here and we're gonna say drawer item list, and also it can have its props spread to it, and then you can close the tag. I'm gonna try again explain a bit further, but for now let me save this, and let me also save this. But before saving, let me go to our app. So far you still have this, and let's see what happens if you're gonna have the picture, the drawer, the user picture now on top there. Let's see. Drawer can't find drawer content. Okay, I didn't import the drawer content component. Let me see if I did import that. I did not import this component, so I must import it from import drawer content. Yes, make sure you import that. I'd forgotten to import it. I'm going to save again, and let's see what happens. Style sheet. I didn't import a style sheet somewhere. Let's see. Drawer content. Did I import a style sheet? Of course not. Style sheet. Import that. And let's see what happened. That seems to be sorted. So let me sign in. Seems that we have an error again. Can't find variable props. Okay, we need to pass the prop component from, we need to pass the prop component from our file, because can't simply use the prop without passing it into our function. Sorry, I had forgotten that. So go to your drawer content component and pass the props there. Sorry, not that. Simply put props, and that's it. And also, I'm going to save that. Let's see again if this is okay. Now the problem is sorted. Now let me open the drawer. Okay, right now we don't have anything. Let's go to the Drawer Navigator.js file. I think there should be a problem there as well. And let me see what the problem is. Okay, I see what the problem is. The problem is that we need to pass a flex of 1 to this drawer, so that the Drawer Navigator knows that it can render these items all over this place, because right now it doesn't know where exactly the items can be rendered. So we just have to say style, and then we use styles from our style sheet and say container. We have created this already. It is style here, which is just a flex of 1. And once we pass this style to the parent view of the Drawer Navigator, then we can now save. Awesome. Now we have that profile picture there. Of course it's small. We're gonna change it now. We're gonna change the style just now, and you have the items there. Now we can begin arranging this. We can go back to your drawer. Okay, we are in the drawer content.js file, and I want to change the style a bit. I want to make it I want to make that picture a bit bigger than what it is right now. And to do that, we're going to pass a prop to this component. The prop is called size, and size, I'll give it let's say 75. Give it 75. Awesome. This is big enough. Now we need to center this, and in order to center that, we're gonna create some styles in this view. First of all, I'm going to say align flex direction, because I want this to be in the same line with the username as well as email. So it's gonna be a row direction, flex direction. I'm sorry, this must be equal to flex direction. I'll pass it row, and going also to say align items, going to say center, and let's see the actual layout from the finished app. you need also some space at the left. So let me say padding left, give it, let's say, okay, since we're centering it, it's fine. We can just leave it like that for now. We don't need to give it some padding. Let's save for now. Okay, right now nothing seems to be happening, but it's fine. Now open another view here. Open another view, and inside this view open a text component, and in this text component we're gonna pass the email address as well as the username. So the username for now I can just say something, let's say John Mark. Can put that, and let's say email address, put that again, another text component, and we can say John at expressfood.com, and we need to pass some styles. I'm just gonna copy some styles and paste. I don't have to waste time typing the styles, otherwise this video gonna be too long. Sorry, paste that there. That the styles which I've pasted. I'm also going to paste another style for the email address. You can pause the video and type those styles which I've just pasted, and we also need to make this area orange, having the same color as the status bar. So in order to do that, we're going to give a background to this view. Say background color. This will be equal to colors dot buttons. Now let's save this and see what happens. Alright, it's beginning to look like what we want, and also I'm going to give some padding, to this view. Say padding left, can say give it 20. Alright, and also I'm going to pass some styles to this view as well. Styles, going to say padding left or margin left instead. I can give it also 15. Okay, well, let me give it 10. 15 seems too much. This is looking good, and in these styles I want to pass also some margin, or instead of margin let me pass some padding, vertical. I'm going to say 10. Alright, and now this text, what's the color for them? Let's see. I think they should be white. Yes, they are white. So let's go back to our app. I think this color does not exist in our style sheet yet, so I can simply remove that, and instead of that I'm going to say card background, and also here dot card background, which is the background here, and let's say awesome, that's also white now. And we still now have to create these two text, my favorite as well as shopping cart, and that is really simple. That is very simple. What you're gonna do, you will simply open another view inside this parent view, open a view, and inside this view I want you to open another view, and first of all pass a style to the first one. You're going to pass the direction, you say flex direction will be row, and let's give it some margin top, you say margin top 10, and then this one also I'm going to copy some styles and paste there so we save time. We don't have to be typing all those styles, gonna take us the whole day typing styles. Alright, so I've pasted these styles here. You can pause your video and tap them as well, and then I'm going to open another component, and this one component is the text component, and this text component will be having numbers. Okay, all these data will dynamically pass them, but for now I'm just gonna put some static numbers. For example, here I'm just gonna put 1, and I'm also going to paste some styles there because I don't want to type styles again. So this is the styles that I've just pasted again now to this component. Open another text component, and this one I'm going to say my favorite. Okay, I'm also going to paste some styles and put them there. I'm going to paste some styles. Can again pause your video and tap these styles, and then outside this view, outside of this, create another view here, and inside this view we're going to have some text again. Let me just make the window small so we have the emulator view. You can see that this text here are similar to this, so I don't have to repeat myself coding. I can simply copy this style and paste it in this view, and can also copy this component. Normally all these styles are supposed to be created inside your style sheet, so we don't have a lot of styles messing up the code. But since I want to do this quick, I just want to paste them. You paste it alright, so you can have all these styles inside your style sheet instead of having each style here. And I've copied this from here. So now I'm just gonna change, instead of 1 there it's 0, and here I'm going to say, instead of my favorite, I'm going to say my cat, like that. Let's now save and see what happens on the emulator. Let's go back to our app. I'm going to save this. Okay, I think something is not right. You can see those items going out of the drawer. So those items are that side. The reason why that's happening, it's because I did not put them in the right place. So I need to change something. So I need to open a view on top here. A view. You can then can cut this. It's supposed to be the parent of all this. Can come until down here. So just above your closing tab for drawer item list, paste that closing tab of the view like this. And I want you to remove this background color from here. Cut it and type it here, styles, and then paste that background color here, and also scroll down and cut these two views. Cut these two views here. Alright. Open a view here. Say view. And inside this view, pass a flex direction. Say style. Flex direction. We pass the row, and then paste all the code that you've just cut from above. Paste them here. Alright. So you have pasted those code here. This code are getting messy right now. So we have pasted that inside this parent view with a flex direction of row. So let's save. This should have solved the problem. Alright, now we have all these items here, and there's one thing that I want you to do. The background color, we need to change it. change this to, this is supposed to be card background. You see how inefficient this is, because now I have to change this background color all over. If I had it in my style sheet, I would have just changed it at one place. So I did this just to show you how this can become very inefficient to put your styles together with your JSX components. So always make sure you put your styles into the style sheet if they are local, or into a global style file if they are, if they are global, you put them into a global style file, and if they are local to a specific component, then you can simply create a style sheet for that component. That is a very efficient way to do it. So change also this to card background, as well as the dot card background, and I want to justify content. We're going to say, let's try space between. Oh, sorry, I don't want to save this, I just want to save. Okay, can you see the change one? I think there's one more that I didn't change. Why is it there? I see the text at the bottom did not change. Why is that? Have card background. Okay. First of all, let me just do this. Let me see if this star is indeed working. Gonna put 18 there. Okay, something is alright. I see why. I think I did there's a mistake. Can undo that. I forgot to made a mistake. Instead of style, I put tile here. So please make sure that is right. Okay. Alright. Now we have that. Let me give this margin right. And give it 20. Or instead of this, let's say margin horizontal 20. And let's first save that. Let's see. And here I'm going to say sorry, I meant this is supposed to be on top. That's where I meant to put it. First of all, let's put this to be space evenly. Let's see what this gives. Alright, that looks good. let's see what is it supposed to look on our final app. Okay, it's almost close, and let's go back here. I think this space is kind of let's give it some padding bottom. Give it 5, and this margin top, we don't need some margin top for now. Let's give it 0. Alright, this is perfectly what we want. If you want a different layout, you can play around with the style, and that's it. So we have all these items now. We can go to your welcome, the business console screen. You can also go back, and you have your Drawer Navigator. Now we need to create the items that are not navigators. It's also very simple to create those items. If you want it to be on top of this, you simply put it on top of this. Okay, if you want it to be at the bottom of these two, you put it at the bottom of this component. So this becomes like your reference. Okay, for example, if I want to put payment on top of this, I could just simply write on top of the drawer item list. I create a component here called drawer item. Drawer item, and close the tag. Okay, and inside this drawer item, it can take the label prop, which is the name that will be listed here. I want to say, let's say for example, payment. Okay, and then also you can pass an icon to it. This must be equal. Forget. Apparently I'm very tired forgetting today. Sorry for that, guys. And you can also pass a prop called icon, and then this will return a icon component. So you can say icon return something. You can destructure some props here like color as well as size. And this should return something. This should return something, and this will be the icon component. Now we can use our icon component as usual. And this icon, they are from React Native element. If you don't have React Native element, you cannot do exactly what I'm doing because it might not work. So pass type prop, and this will be material community. And also pass the name. This will be a credit card outline, and the color, we pass color prop, and size, we pass the size prop that we've just structured. Alright, now if I save, I should have this on top of these two. Awesome. Now we have that other items, but this item is not a navigator. So if you want it to be at the bottom, just copy it or cut it and paste it at the bottom. see now it here at the bottom. So this becomes your reference. This is the items that have got navigations attached to them, and these are just normal items and all that. All right, now you have the item payment. The payment item. If you go to our final app, let's see what other need to add: promotions, settings, as well as help. So this is very simple. Now we can simply copy this and duplicate it. We don't have to type this again. We can just copy this and paste. Actually, you could even use a map or flight list to render this, so you don't have to repeat each component. So, but yeah, you can put there promotion, change the name promotions, and also change the icon name, which is tag heart in this case. You can again copy this, and we do the same for settings. We paste that. As I said, we don't have to repeat all these components. You can use the map method. You simply pass the promotion, the label, as well as icon name as your element or items to your map method. And then here you can put your settings, and the icon will be cog outline, and we also have help there. You can paste again the same component. Once again, you don't have to be pasting and copying all these things. You can use the map method and render all these things without any problem. So here it's settings, and sorry, help. We've done settings already. Help, and the icon size will be equal to the icon name is live. You can type that, and let's first save this and see. Go back to our app. Awesome. You see that our drawer is beginning to look great. It's beginning to look awesome. And what else do we need to do on this drawer? We need to have the preference and all these buttons. So in order to do that, we can open a view. After this one, open a view, component, and in this we're going to give it some styles. Style a flex of 1. No, actually we don't have to give it a flex. We're just gonna keep the same flex. First of all, give it some border top width of 1, and border top color. You can say colors gray 5. Alright, now we're gonna pass this text component, which is preferences. You can just open the pass text. Say preference or preferences. I'm going to paste some styles again, not to waste time. This time around, as I said, all the styles should be pasted into the style sheet, not together with the JSX, because it's very inefficient. Just gonna put the preferences. It's gonna be an object. I'm going to paste some styles here. Let me just make it neat. And we go back here, we pass the star that we just created, star equal to stars dot preferences. Awesome. Now create a view. Underneath this, create a view. And we pass some stars to it. Stars equal to stars dot, I'll call it button or switch instead, because it's a switch. It should be small letters, because just good. Switch text. Then let's create the switch text style. I'm gonna say here switch text, gonna be an object. I'm going to paste some styles again so that we don't waste time typing. I'm going to paste it. Get a lot of stars. Let me make this square. Just gonna make this neat. Awesome. Now inside this, we're going to create let me first see my emulator. I'm going to create this text here. So I'm going to open a text component. I'm gonna call it dark theme. And I'm going to pass some styles. I'm going to say styles dot dark theme text. Can scroll down to create that style, dark theme text. Dark theme text. Paste that here. Can pause the videos and tap these styles, and now I want you to open a view again below this text component. First of all, pass some styles to it, and that's gonna padding right. I'm gonna pass 10. Sorry. And inside here we're going to pass this switch component. You can see we have this switch here where you can toggle your theme to dark mode or normal mode, and that you must import it from uh, React Native. You can see I've imported it already there from React Native. It's not a library, it's just React Native component. So then come down here and pass that switch. Just gonna say switch and close the tag. And we're going to pass some prop, the colors when it's in active or not active mode. So we're gonna say track color. This will be also some styles, an object. So when the switch is off or false, we must pass some styles to it. And I'm just gonna paste some color. Okay, let me simply type it. This will be 767577. And when it's true or when the switch is active, then the star will be 81 B O double F. Okay. And also there's another prop called term color. I'm just going to paste it because all these are just props from React Native. There's nothing that really need to be explained. Just how you want your switch to look. You can change this to whatever look you want. And let's go to our app before I save. Apparently we have an error, dark mode. Oh, okay. Okay, this is because it's implemented with dark mode. You don't have to have that for now. So we can simply cut this and leave it like that because we haven't implemented the dark mode yet. As you can see in the other app, the final app, I have the dark mode already implemented. But for now, we have not reached the dark mode yet. You can just follow what I'm doing for now. We're gonna get to dark mode in the next videos, maybe the 2nd or 3rd videos from this one. So now we have the switch on your thing. Awesome. So your app should look like this now. So you can see we're doing some move, which is great. Right now you can see that this switch is not changing. Every time I click on it, it goes back. It's because we have not yet handled the onChange method. So we have to be able to handle that, but that's not important for now. Let's first continue with what we're doing. Now we need to add the sign out button. We have got all this. The final element is sign out button. So again, we're going to copy one of the elements here because this will help the application to navigate out to a different stack, which is the sign-in stack. So copy this and here paste and instead of help it's gonna be sign out, and the icon is gonna be logout variant. Logout variant, and I think that should be it. Let me go to my app. Let's save this. Let's see what we get. Okay, we have this here, but I want it to be right at the bottom. So how do you achieve that? I'm sure by now you should definitely know how to implement that, because that is very simple. So you need to get this item here right at the end. So in order to achieve that, you should scroll down and take it out from the scroll view, because right now it's inside the scroll view. You can see it is inside this drawer content scroll view. So cut that and paste it outside, just before the last closing tag of this component, which is the last closing tag view, and save again. And now it is there at the bottom, which is awesome. So we are done with the Drawer Navigator. You can see this is exactly what you're seeing here, or most close to what you're seeing here. You can customize this. You have an idea of exactly how to implement this. You can change it to whatever you want. And in the next videos, we will continue with this app. But for today, I'm going to end this video here because it's getting too long now. Thank you for watching, and if you have not watched the previous videos, I will recommend you to watch them as well, so that you are on the same page with us. And otherwise, keep safe and take care, and I hope to see you in the coming videos. Bye bye.